Picture this, you're at work, excited for the holiday party. Everyone's been pitching in, dropping bills into a little donation box. But when the big night is just around the corner, the box is empty. Gone. Stolen. And the prime suspect? The boss is arrogant, untouchable nephew. Most people would give up or just complain behind his back. But my late Uncle Dale, he was an engineer with a wicked sense of justice. And what he came up with not only exposed the thief, but destroyed his career in the most hilarious way possible. If you've ever dreamed of seeing arrogance crash and burn, you're going to love this one. Hit that subscribe button right now. Give this video a like and drop a comment about the most satisfying revenge you've ever witnessed. Let's get into the story of how one man turned "let it go" into the ultimate weapon of workplace justice. Uncle Dale wasn't just a senior engineer at a small Midwestern firm. He was also the kind of guy who could light up a room. Friendly, brilliant, and respected. He taught engineering at the local community college, mentored countless students, and unofficially took on the role of organizing the company's holiday parties. Every December, he'd set up a little metal donation box outside his office. A humble tin box with a slit at the top. Employees would toss in whatever they could spare to make the party special. It was a tradition, and people trusted it. They trusted him. But that year, something felt off. A month before the big Christmas bash, Dale decided to peek inside. Instead of bills and coins piling up like they usually did, the box was empty. Not a single dollar. His stomach sank. He knew he had seen people drop cash in. Good people, honest people, pitching in. Which meant only one thing: someone was stealing from the fund. And then came Brad. Brad was the kind of coworker that everyone quietly despised. He was the boss's nephew, and he wore that fact like a crown. Entitled, obnoxious, always pushing his weight around because he knew he was untouchable. He wasn't a great engineer. Honestly, he wasn't even a decent one. But blood ties to the owner kept him firmly planted in his seat, no matter how many mistakes he made or how badly he treated others. So when Dale turned around and saw Brad swaggering down the hallway, smirking, his suspicion sharpened. Brad had a reputation, and now the missing money mystery suddenly had a prime suspect. But Dale wasn't impulsive. No, he was patient, calculating. He decided to set a trap. Using his engineering know-how, Dale rigged a discreet doorbell camera near the donation box. He even staged a little bait. He asked a coworker to loudly announce they had just donated a crisp a 100 bill. The kind of temptation an entitled brat like Brad couldn't resist. And sure enough, the camera lit up. Dale watched as Brad approached the box, opened it with greedy hands, only to find it empty. His face twisted with anger, and in a fit of childish frustration, he hurled the box against the wall. Caught, red-handed. Now, most people would have taken that footage straight to the boss. Open and shut case. But Uncle Dale? Oh no. Engineers don't just solve problems. They turn them into experiments. Dale walked into his next class at the community college with a mischievous grin. He told his students, "Extra credit assignment. Build me a rigged donation box. The louder and more obnoxious, the higher the grade." His students, young engineers in training, nearly fell out of their chairs with excitement. This was their chance to apply all their creativity, all their problem-solving skills, for the purest reason of all revenge with style. 1 week later, they delivered, and it was glorious. The students had taken apart one of those cheesy musical greeting cards. You know, the ones that play a tinny tune when you open them. But instead of some sweet holiday jingle, they'd wired it to belt out Idina Menzel's "Let It Go" from Frozen. Not the chorus, not the catchy bit. Oh no, the most annoying part. And once it started, there was no stopping it. They glued the mechanism down with industrial strength adhesive. They rigged the hinge so it wouldn't shut unless you pressed a hidden button. They angled the speaker for maximum volume. It was the engineering equivalent of a bear trap, only funnier. Dale set it up the very next day. He made a big show of dropping 50 into the box, letting everyone know the bait was fresh. Then he retreated to his office, waiting for the inevitable. And sure enough, across the office floor, voices started rising. What the? Then came the unmistakable sound. "Let it goo, let it goo," echoing down the hallways, blasting from the donation box. People started laughing, crowding around, and in the middle of it all was Brad, red, faced and panicked, fumbling desperately with the box. He twisted it, shook it, slammed it against the wall, but the song just kept going, louder and louder. By now, nearly the whole office was watching, chuckling, whispering, phones discreetly recording. And then the boss walked in, Brad's uncle. He didn't need an explanation. He didn't need evidence. The sight of his own nephew caught in the act, Idina Menzel wailing in the background, was all the proof he needed. Brad was summoned to his uncle's office. 15 minutes later, he emerged with a cardboard box. His desk cleared out, a note slapped onto his HR file. Do not rehire. Do not recommend. His engineering career, over. Finished. At that year's Christmas party, Dale had one final surprise. He set up the doorbell camera footage on the projector. Everyone watched as Brad tried to steal from the box, while Idina Menzel sang him into unemployment. The room roared with laughter, glasses clinked, and for once, justice truly felt served. The money safe, the party went off without a hitch, and Brad finally had to face a world where nepotism couldn't save him from his own stupidity. There's something beautiful about this kind of revenge. It wasn't cruel. It wasn't violent. It was poetic, clever, and perfectly fair. A thief got caught, arrogance got humbled, and an entire office learned that sometimes the best justice is a well-engineered prank. If you loved this story of workplace karma, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more Reddit revenge tales. And tell me in the comments, what's the most satisfying act of justice you've ever witnessed? Because sometimes the sweetest victories aren't just about punishment, they're about creativity.